Hi there, my name's Jane Anderson. I've spent the last 20 years working with people who have either personally branded businesses or some of the world's biggest brands to help them to be able to grow their businesses through their communication strategies. So I've worked with people like IKEA, Rio Tinto, Lego, Virgin Australia, some of the big ones, and also spent a huge amount of time of working with people who are experts in their field. So those who are specifically speakers, coaches, consultants, and those people who are really sometimes best-selling authors, and those people who are the infopreneurs. Their job is that what they're trying to do is to be able to get their knowledge and IP out in the world. So I'm essentially what's called a strategic communications expert. And so what that means is, for those who work in this industry, is that we work across the whole remit of communications in organizations and for businesses. So that means social media strategy, that means database management, newsletters, speaking, all the whole remit, PR, all those aspects of being able to create communication strategies to help people to grow their businesses. And my obsession in helping people do this, my obsession is helping people to have influence. And influence as in to be able to help people to get a message out there that helps other people to achieve their potential. And so what makes me a little bit different is I've written 6 books on the subject. I'm a certified speaker, a coach. I've been voted in the top 30 branding gurus globally and in the top 6 in Australia. I've been awarded best mentor and coach and quite a few awards. And I spend most of my time really helping people to drill down into what is their unique message and how do you get it out there as quickly as possible. So working with me, I say to most people, I'm a bit like working with a can opener, in that my job is to sort of take the lid off and get all this great stuff to come out. You know, it's all sitting in your head and we've got to get it out fast and it to be thorough. So for example, I was recently working with a lady who had great knowledge in IP, and she was able to sort of get her ideas out, but she felt like it was really slow. You know, she said, I feel like I hesitate when I go to write things down or capture what I know. I'm not really sure if I'm doing it right. And she said, I just feel like the whole process is slowing me down. And as a result, she wasn't getting her newsletter out every week. She wasn't doing any video content, and she really wanted to write a book. And so the issue was that when you're not getting your content out and your IP and your knowledge out, is that book is not going to get written. It's not going to get written by itself. And if you can get this IP and knowledge out of your head, it can be used across all those platforms. So in her case, what I did with her was I showed her the process that I use. You know, most people do ask me, how do you get so much content out? And so I do what is called sprints. And so what I did was I showed her how to do a sprint. And what that means is that how you work in these specific short blocks of time and block time over a couple of days. And so I showed her how to do that. And by the end of the 2 days, she not only had all the IP for her newsletters for the next 12 months, but she also had video content. She had content for her newsletters. She had content for her books. And it was all done. And so all she had to do was go and transcribe or record, but all the ideas were captured. And I was able to give her feedback so that she was able to feel reassured that her ideas were captured thoroughly, and it was work that she could be proud of, and she didn't feel like the imposter or anything like that. She said by the end of the 2 days that she felt good enough, and it really made a massive difference to her conviction and her confidence in her practice too. So what I've done is I've created this program. It's the Expert to Influencer Content Bootcamp. So for those who I work with, the whole essence of what we've got to do is we've got to get your content out and get it out of your head so that you can send your message out. Because if you don't have this content coming out of your head and into tools, into newsletters, into videos, into your book, the problem is that you're going to be competing on price. And you don't want that. You want to be competing around your positioning. Positioning is when you have visibility in the market and you are seen as bringing a lot of value to people. So if you don't do that, you compete on price, and that's very hard. So I've put this program together. It's a 2-day kind of retreat, I suppose, but it's a sprint work retreat. And I've chosen to have it at the beautiful Gold Coast at a place at Kingscliff where I just love working, and I work with all my very best clients. And it's 2 days where we're going to be sprinting, and you're going to be getting out of your head a full year worth of content, and that not only that can be used in newsletters and blogs and videos, but you're going to be able to put this content into books. You're going to be able to put it into your programs, and a full year is done in 2 days. So it's going to be a pretty intense couple of days. But for those that I find when I'm doing this work, their challenge is that they say, you know, I can't do this at home, or I'm too distracted, or there's so many other things going on, or you know, they struggle with the discipline around the habits and routines each day or each week to be able to get these things out. And they often say to me, you know, I'd just love it if I could just come and spend 2 days with you and just knock this out, and then I know it's done. So I've listened, and so I'm putting this on because this is how I work. This is how I get a lot of content out, and this is how I've been able to write so many books and create the positioning that I've been able to create. Because it's one thing to be able to create content and to be able to get your IP and your knowledge out of your head, but it's a very different thing to be able to do it fast. So in these 2 days, what I'm going to do is you're going to be able to learn how to do this really quickly. I'm going to be there the whole time. I'm going to give you feedback. So what can slow people down is their fear of it not being good enough. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to help you if you're stuck on, you know, some people get stuck on research, or they don't know if they've got the right research to unpack an idea. Or they often say to me, I don't know how else to explain this. Like, how else could I draw this, or what's a metaphor that would go with this? So they struggle sometimes with being able to articulate their message. And when you're at home trying to do this, it slows everything down. So what I'm going to do is I'll spend 2 days with you on all those challenges and problems, and you're going to go home with 52 pieces of content. That's 1 per week. So at least you're going to have a newsletter going out each week. You're going to have content for videos, content to write your book. Regardless of how you're using the knowledge, is that we get it out quickly. So, because that's what I find is that people tend to really struggle with those things. So if you can get away for 2 days, get in, knock it out, go home with everything that you need, and you've got it then for the 12 months ahead. Because at the end of the day, we all want to work with clients that we love working with. We want to be valued for our knowledge and expertise, and we don't want to be caught up in the commoditization cycle. And the challenge is if we don't do this work, then that doesn't happen. And what my wish is for you is that you're able to get your message out in the world, get it out quickly, and create the experience for your clients and your customers, and help them to be able to achieve their potential, and for you to work with people that you absolutely love working with. So I'd love for you to register. Make sure you click on the button to sign up now, and I look forward to seeing you on the weekend.